All right, everybody, welcome back to the TACP Roundup. Trent here with the Ones Ready podcast again, and I have Jay with me, who recently left active duty for the Guard. I have a long-standing tradition of saying that I don't like Guard guys because they're too happy. You have anything to say about that?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. So I've only been in the Guard for 2 months now, and even just talking to the bros on active duty, they said that I already sound like I'm running a recruitment pitch.
It's so annoying. Like, you guys have like work-life balance. Everybody's always smiling. I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
So why'd you join the Guard?
So I spent over a decade active duty, and it was the last year and a half. My wife looked at me and said, "I'm tired of moving. I don't have permanent friends, anchored in one place." And so it was that stability aspect of it. And I said, "Great, I want to keep doing this job. How do we compromise and do both?"
Right.
So we threw our names in the hat for a full-time position in the Guard. And so not a whole lot changed as far as like mechanics of our life and everything, just stability with being in one place. And Boise's amazing.
Don't tell people that. They hate it when you advertise.
But don't tell anybody that. It's there's nothing out there but potato fields. Yeah, you don't want to come. The unit's fantastic, and work-life balance and family culture is just amazing.
Nice. So TACP for 10 years. So that means you joined in
11.
11. Okay, sorry. I'm getting old and I'm not good at math. Why TACP?
So I wanted to do something that was challenging physically, mentally. I was a engineering student in college and didn't want to go be a developmental engineer for the Air Force. And so I threw, cashed my chips and went all in. I went to a selection as a cadet in college, and it was the senior NCOs that ran that selection, the cadre members that ran it, that completely won me over. I walked away from that week just wanting to work with them, wanting to work for them, and I was all in after that. I was head over heels for the career field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the training like? Anything? Any bumps in the road?
What's that?
Any bumps in the road as far as training and getting through the process?
No, I mean, a couple of sublux ribs here and there, and AC separations in shoulders, and
no big deal.
But we didn't find out the true culprit of those issues until years later.
Right.
Chiropractors are great.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
So you are the what do you do for the TACP Association now?
So for the TACP Foundation. So the essentially a sister nonprofit to the association. So I'm the executive director of the TACP Foundation.
Okay.
So we started that organization about 2 years ago. So it's a young, up and coming startup. Essentially, we're a 501c3, so not a membership base, but still a nonprofit.
Right.
And our aim is predictable, enduring support of the TACP community and their families. So, okay. Gold Star programmatics, Gold Star family support. This last year, we launched efforts for transition assistance, and we've been putting a lot into that, and we've opened up the aperture to special warfare wide. So we've really created this Air Force Special Warfare TAP program, and we've had controllers and Jays and SR Bubbas come through it, and having a tailored course that fits them and works for them. And it's put on by Special Warfare airmen, retired guys that have done the process.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the community is a little bit different than the regular Air Force,
yep.
Right? And what you're looking for and all these other things. So it makes sense.
Yeah. So we've been doing a lot with civilian transition, job transition stuff. A recent effort has been putting funding towards post-separation professional certs. And so what I mean by that is if you get out in a year a year after or 5 or 10 years after, and you realize like, oh crap, I need this basket weaving certification to level myself up in my industry, working whatever you do in the civilian world. That costs money.
Right.
So we're putting funds towards that to pay for that for guys after they get out, after Cool's no longer available, after tuition assistance is no longer available, and we're funding those things.
Nice.
We're helping guys with resume writing, resume building, things like that. So we're putting a whole lot of effort into transition and post-transition. Some other programs we run besides that and Gold Stars is scholarship programs, Memorial Stone programs as well.
So I could go get a cert for learning how to do a podcast for real instead of whatever I'm doing right now.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
Yeah.
So what made you get into the foundation?
So a friend of mine named Marcus Mader was doing a lot of work with the association, and he had stepped away from that, and he reached out to me and contacted me and said, hey, Jay, I have this idea. I want to stand this thing up with you and the rest of this team that he was already putting together. So I came on as his vice director, and we stood this thing up, put together articles of incorporation, bylaws, and all that. And then this last year, I took over as the executive director.
Okay.
So I'm still a full-time guardsman with Boise, and then doing this labor of love over here too.
What is it about the community that makes guys want to be involved in the associations and foundations and still stay a part of it?
Right. So my wife and I were just talking about this yesterday, and she's a veteran. She just got back from a veteran summit. She works for GE Aerospace corporate world. And they brought up a question, and it tied back to is it's always the vet. It's always the vet that is the one stepping up to serve. It's always the vet that is the one that's going above and beyond to do those additional things. And we were all originally called to service for multiple reasons. That doesn't go away in a lot of us, and it's just a reverberation continuing on of our need to serve other people.
Right. Well, it starts with those senior NCOs, right? That you felt it and you wanted to be around that.
Yeah.
And then I think a lot of us spend just the rest of our lives trying to live up to that standard, right? And then make them proud and all these other things.
Oh yeah.
So cool. You having a good time here?
Thanks, man.
Yeah. No. I so wondering if you're having a good time on the roundup. But hey,
yeah. It's hard to hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We got a live band and all this other stuff going on. I do want to ask you one more question. Young people looking to get into TACP or special warfare, one piece of advice that you would give them, what would it be?
Oh man. Learn how to deal with failure. And failure is not the end. Thomas Edison had how many thousands of failures before he nailed the light bulb?
Right.
You know what I mean? Angela Duckworth talks about grit. I think people overuse some of these terms. She's brilliant, by the way. But persistence is what makes a lot of people successful, in that you're not going to get things right the first time. You're going to get your teeth kicked in training, in prep for training, even in the administrative portions of application boards. If you accept failure the first time it shows itself, then you lost.
There it is.
But if you keep showing up every day and you keep getting up, you learn how to deal with failure, and you learn from it, which is so important, you're going to be successful in whatever it is that you want to do.
Then it's not failure. Then it's just learning.
100%.
All right. Now, sir, I really appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Enjoy your night.
Thanks, Trent.